Hello, the Achievers Report. This is Andre Kent Jr., AJ Kent. This is my volunteer service award. Of course, it's always gold. But I just wanted to get up here and say I think I'm at 5 stars, a 5-star rating. The company in total, I think, is at a trillion. At 100 years, it's at a trillion, and there are other countries that are trying to fast forward my will so we can pull it out and then cash it in to the bank, and that way I can purchase things up front but not lose earned interest. Because like I was telling everybody, I probably bring about 4% more to generating whatever the interest rate is at the bank in my bank account. I'm probably bringing 4 times more to a credit card. Dude, if a credit card is charging me interest, even in compounded interest of 28%, dude, I could charge a credit card company 80% in APY interest if they interrupt my deals that allow me to pay their credit cards because they don't want me to making a credit card payment. They want to mess up my credit score. So if they're charging me 27, let's say I agree to 26% interest after a certain amount of months, and I have no way to pay my credit cards because they block deals and they block offers and block jobs. Dude, I could charge them up to what was it, like 10 to 30,000 a second. I'm at like $10 to $30,000 a second. I'm gonna make sure that's right. Hold on a second, let me make sure that's right. I think it's like 30,000 a second. 60 seconds. I don't know if that's right. Hold on a second. That was nowhere near close. Let's say each day I made 24,657,534. And I don't work. I don't really work. I don't really have to work for that. For $25 million every single day. That'd be 9 billion. I make that a year on the Achievers Report. We get the math on it. So think if the Achievers Report is ready for cashing out 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. So that's 3 years at 9 billion. That's 27 billion. And if you want to use credit lines times 3, it's approximately $81 billion. But the Achievers Report is more the advisors, myself, not the advisors over the home, but we do voting delegates like HOSA, Health Sciences Academy, our national championships, state championships. Just the umbrella itself is at 81 billion. And let's say my 15% is 12,150,000,000. Don't forget, and I get a budget on the company. I'm just a member of the company, but I'm also on the board, so I get a budget on the company as well. But that's how much money I'm at. I'm at 12 billion. So I didn't come to gloat or be insensitive, but everybody kept charging me my time and stuff like that. They thought that was funny, and I'm over there like in the bank. My earned interest is approximately 1.21%. but I probably bring to the bank probably without working because of how perfect I try to keep all of my stuff, including my dioramas and stuff. I probably bring like 4.35% to the bank myself. So you owe me money out. You didn't lose money, you owe me money out. Why? Because I bring more to the table than most people. So I don't like when people compare me to people that don't know what the hell they talking about. And then that's not even the Homage Network. The Homage Network was at what, 50 billion? Let's say the Homage Network had cash in the business checking account of 50 billion, and we got an interest rate offer of 75% ABY. It wasn't 75%, it was 0.75%. That's 37.5 billion times 3 years times 3 for trade lines, credit lines, and stuff. That's $337,500,000,000. And the biography is at approximately 30 billion. I'm not stupid. I just didn't want them overspending my time places where they shouldn't be overspending. They're overspending my time. They're overspending the way they're thinking about the budget. Don't forget we bought planes. We bought the maintenance. We bought dental insurance, health insurance, life insurance, vision insurance. We bought dental cleaning for each member. And it's complimentary. You know, I don't intend to taking them away from anybody, and it's going to be written in the bylaws, the stuff that can't be taken away from people, because there are going to be different positions and stuff sometimes. But no, I've been watching that stuff just like everybody else has, and it's different when you got the champions involved. You know, their achievements are just, you know, our national achievements, state achievements and stuff. Then we want the UNC. I didn't really want UNC basketball. We're in the because Michael Jordan and his accomplishments and achievements, along with what is it, the Charlotte Hornets. Then you got the Carolina Panthers on the other side, but then you got the UNC Basketball Museum. We want to be somewhere over in that area, but we're talking about academics like Health Occupation Students of America, Future Farmers of America, and we're talking about the alumni teams, or not alumnus teams, alumni. You know, we're talking about the teams that are now to the program, professional division or collegiate divisions and stuff, to where we need our stuff to be able to spend our stuff now, not waiting 65 years from now, this, that, and the other. You know, there are locks and controls on stuff. However, I didn't want them to tie me to this, because I did this as a capstone, as a project for school, but they just kept asking for shit. And I'm over here like, dude, I'm not just a volunteer. You just keep asking and making requests and keep making favors. I don't give a damn if you royalty. I didn't ask you were you royal. I didn't ask you whether you were a monarch. I didn't ask you whether you had kingdoms and armies and stuff. Don't ask for more than you can pay for. And with them credit card companies where they talk so much, well, the Achievers Report is the umbrella, the Homage Network is the operations, and the Homage Network biography is a whole unit by itself. So when I'm talking about it, I like to share my achievements with my team and with my advisor, with the membership, which means sometimes it means going to Sam's Club and getting our membership, bulk supplies and bulk plates and bulk stuff that they need for their homes and stuff, just to live off of and stuff. I don't have time to debate a lot of that stuff. So I approved it, and I did a diorama based off how hungry I actually was. You know, not hungry as in power, no, physically hungry. You know, I might have to buy a grocery store. You know, that way I could go in, and I can go in there whenever I want to and just go shopping. Not like, but I'm not trying to do a competition and stuff on my stuff. It's more, I would love to purchase, I take Petals and Produce in Little Washington, for instance. Petals and Produce, I would like to eat like 4 or 5 jars. buy myself a salsa every other day. You know how expensive petals and produce is? Oh, it's delicious though. But the pineapple salsa and the black bean salsa, all that stuff in Little Washington. And you know the Amish food that I have asked for, Rice Krispies, Rice Krispie sandwiches, and oh my gosh, some stuff that I asked for, but I didn't want them to tie me directly to the past because I did this more as if I was to put this at Duke University or Harvard University or Yale or MIT, you know what I'm saying? If I was to include all the assets and stuff that are under it, I didn't build the school system. It's not built a school. It's a financial technology company. It had nothing to do with the school system, nothing to do with the state. It had everything to do with championships and building on wealth generation, learning and coaching and training about wealth foundations, about wealth period, about foundations of wealth, wealth planning, estate planning. Like we try, I sent a message to Pitt Community College. I would like to match all of their endowments and their gifts to the college at Pitt Community College. Is my first official venture where, as a like a don't on the donor wall, that would be my first official gift that I've ever done, and they stopped me on the computer, and it was just like, don't do no more at the moment, you know. And I wanted to give $1 million to Pitt Community College, and then I wanted to give $10 million to East Carolina University. Go Pirate Nation, go Bulldogs, and I just started there. But I didn't want them, I wanted them to see the more grown up version of myself to an extent where I don't dress like Zuckerberg. I got my own wardrobe and stuff, but at least I'm on my own money, I'm on my own dollar, and it's time to pay out. 26 years old, and I'm very responsible with my decisions and my money. I chose, we did another deal last night with Black Lane. I know I want the driver service, but I also needed to think about myself, and I chose to go with Black Lane to supervise and Black Lane to do the official concierge and driving for myself, the advisors, my team, the management. We wanted Black Lane. That way we could show ourselves as professional, show ourselves as worthy of being users of the service, and then give a review as well, which means 365 days of a chauffeur service with Black Lane. Let's say I want to be in the car 365 days. Okay, somebody that's driving my car, out of respect for your employer as the Achievers Reports employer, as the sole employer at the moment to an extent, till I can reach out to my friends and family and stuff, as the sole employer at the moment, having to make those types of decisions. If I have a driver 365 days out of the year, you don't have no family that you want to go see, you don't have nobody that you want to go visit, nobody that you want to go, because I can have 3 different drivers per car where they can rotate shifts. That way y'all can see your families and stuff, this, that, and other. I think like an employer. I don't think like a student. I think other people have needs that come before, oh my God, I can drive you everywhere, this, that, and other. I think you have other things that you need to be caring about and worried about too. So we started them off at approximately $100,000 and just $100,000 just to get in the door a year. I had to get my drivers $100,000 a year just to get in the door. The other amount, their budget on the company, their food expenses are on my company. I pay for their food. It's on me. Because I wanted like 3 drivers, so I had to bring in more people, more resources, people I don't know, people I'm having to direct, give orders to. So yeah, it's gonna get scary sometimes for some people that don't know how to listen. So I don't make any apologies up front. I don't make any apologies. So, but because a decision like that could cost some of y'all's career, because I know you weren't thinking about the people that we employ. So with 3 drivers a car, each of them at $100,000 a start a year. And I personally drive with approximately 4 cars. So that's $1,200,000 that you're going to spend a year minimum. Don't forget their budget on the company. They use their budget together as if it's union. You know what I'm saying? You have to think about your employees and stuff. So that comes out of the earned interest. That money has to come out the earned interest that we're using to spend ADP. I'm trying to train y'all a little bit, and I'm on the Achievers Report side where I'm a sovereign. I didn't do it to save them. I'm not over there in Europe. Your job is to focus on me, which means you didn't do it right. You didn't do as I asked. You did need a visual. You did need pictures. You did need notice. You did need me to write things down. You did need me to give you tasks. You did need me to go in there and train them. You did need, because had I just sent that in and you had did what I asked you to do the first time, you would have been a mess. Why? Because now I'm sitting there saying you hired 1 driver and they can't even get up here and it's supposed to look professional, almost like a motorcade. And you're using my $1 million cars. You didn't go out there to go pick up a Crown Prince. You came to get me. So imagine how disgruntled I am when we're spending $50 million of debt weight and we're paying you too to do a job. And I'm not talking to Black Lane, which is why Black Lane also stepped in, because we wanted the chauffeur service. But I'm just talking to my team personally, managing my personal business finances and personal finances. Y'all are the type to get people into trouble because you don't know what you're doing and you're trying to advise. I don't ever advise anybody, and I don't ever take advisory fees from anybody. I receive a dividend commission as if I was like Mike Will made it. I receive a dividend commission and a project development commission dividend where you pay me 15% to design the diorama. I'm not going to put it together for you unless I actually want the diorama. I actually want the Achievers Report. I want the Homage Network. If the state and my family and friends and stuff, if they don't want it, you know, if they're making, if they don't want it, I will gladly take it. I'll gladly take it. I felt like it was a shared moment. A lot of it was shared. So if y'all don't want it, I'll take it. And I'm still going to be doing what I'm doing, but I have a life. I have other things to do. I have other properties. I didn't want to seem like a downpour, but if y'all don't want it, I gladly sure will take it back. But no, I also think about that, when my driver is on the road, I pay for the petty cash. I do the tips. They come out the company budget. I pay for the tips. I pay for the going to go pick it up and bring it to me. Why? Because if I have to send something back or I have to go get more of something, I want to be ready. That way you can just pull it out of the petty cash when something like that happens. With our fuel deal, I did a fuel deal where they thought that I was robbing the station, where on my personal side, I did something with the fuel station that I did not want other people tapped into. I did a deal with them on my personal side that I didn't want the company tapped into. Just like y'all probably have deals on the personal side. It was a respectful thing. But on this side of the company, I actually want this company. So what do you think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do a similar deal where some of my favorite places like Sheetz and Speedway, where they'll give our membership unlimited gas and fuel at 93 in diesel. I'll take 93 in diesel. You're still trying to fill up all the e-trons, and you're trying to fill up Rolls Royce. We don't want them ghosts. We don't want the stuff that make us look ghetto. I'm sorry. Cut all that stuff that make us look ghetto. We order the Brabus. Them Brabuses are not going to sit next to them regular Mercedes. It's time to step up our game a bit. My chauffeur service, we ordered 2024 vehicles and stuff. We got to do better.